So, about that K-pop thing. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Free For All Friday, episode number 48. So, real quick, I just wanted to remind you guys that I am still taking suggestions to celebrate this channel's 1-year anniversary on YouTube, so if you want to see me do anything, let me know in the comment section down below. That is anything reasonable. I mean, I'm not going to be like chopping my arm off or anything like that, but you guys get the general idea. So, we are back from New Jersey, back from the trip down to Newark, New Jersey to the K-pop concert. I need to sit down because by far this is one of the craziest things that I have ever seen in my life. So growing up in the state of Massachusetts, you see Boston all of the time on ranking of one of the worst cities in America to drive in. Personally, I have driven through there a number of times and I do not consider it to be anything as bad as driving through New York City. Also, keep in mind that I've driven from the tip of Maine down to the coast of Florida and all these cities in between, and I'm going to have to add Newark, New Jersey as the second worst city that I do not want to drive in. More or less, I will do anything in my power to avoid driving anywhere near downtown New York City, downtown Manhattan. I will stay completely clear of driving. I also feel that same way now about Newark, New Jersey, and let me explain why. So we left here on Monday afternoon to go to the K-pop concert, which was on Tuesday night. More specifically, Amanda's sister was going to the concert. Me and Amanda were not attending it. Anyways, leaving here at 4 o'clock, it said it was going to take about 3 hours and 15 minutes to get there. We didn't get there until just about 8 o'clock. So by the time we finally checked in on everything and got dinner, it was just time to go to bed. And we had to wake up early because she needed to go stand in line for the, I keep saying convention, but it's a concert. So the Prudential Center was 3.1 miles, I believe, exactly away from the hotel. It said it was going to take us between 10 and 15 minutes to get there. She wanted to be there for about 8:30 to stand in line, so we left sometime around 7:45, 8 o'clock to go drive there. Let me just say something that 10 to 15 minute drive was more like a 40-minute drive to just go 3 miles. In the point of going 3 miles, it was nonstop bumper-to-bumper traffic. I mean, the traffic was not moving at all to the point where homeless individuals were coming up on the highway with cups trying to collect money from the stopped cars. There's a lot of people that do that, a lot of people that are out there panhandling in the city that I live in, and I have still never seen anything like this. These people were literally walking up the on-ramps onto the highway to panhandle. The traffic was just not moving. So the weather report for that day kept saying that it was going to rain a lot, and luckily up to that point in time, the rain had been holding off. So just in case, she brought her umbrella. We dropped her off here. When we dropped her off at the Prudential Center is the name of the place, it was packed. There were people with tents that were camped out outside already standing in line for this concert that was going to be at 8 o'clock at night. So after dropping her off, making sure she was all set, we decided to head to this place that was about a 20 to 25 minute drive away from where we were that I had looked up that I wanted to go film Adventure Wednesday at. That 20-minute drive turned into almost an hour, and by the time we got there, I literally got out of the car to do the intro, and it just started downpouring. So not being able to explore the place in its entirety that I wanted to, we just made the decision to head back down to go check on her. Ended up driving back to the hotel. It took us another 30 minutes just to get from there back to where the hotel was, only 3 miles away, and we just sat in the room, tried to figure out where we were going to go for lunch. And looking up all the reviews and everything, there was this really cool place called Dinosaur Barbecue that looked really good. The reviews were really good. I was excited to try this place. So there we go, leaving the hotel back into the center of Newark, New Jersey, and let me just tell you about the parking. So the first area for parking, which was suggested by the maps as being public parking, was not. It was a private lot with one of those car elevator type things where they hold like a bunch of different cars on it. The price for that was $84 for up to 3 hours of parking. The next spot that we went to was $30 per hour, except they wouldn't take the truck because they needed all the extra spaces for convention parking because it was right next to where the center was. Realizing this was going to be an impossible task, I ended up dropping off Amanda where they were starting to block off all the streets for all these people because they were just pouring out into the road. There were so many people. I've never seen anything like this. I literally dropped Amanda off and had enough time to drive all the way around the block and pick her back up. She had enough time to braid her sister's hair, go grab all like the different stuff that her sister had brought and run it back to the car before I even made it to where she was standing in line. On my way around the block, I ended up asking some guy that was offering parking in their lot what they would charge me to park the truck there. He said some absurd amount, like it was like $47 or $58 to park there for 60 minutes, but if I was not back in 60 minutes, they would have to tow the truck. So altogether, getting food was impossible. We just decided to go back to the hotel and order delivery. Got the delivery, ate at the hotel. It was probably, I'm not gonna lie, this was one of the best pizzas that I have ever had in my life. This was so good. The mozzarella sticks that we had ordered too were just, they were great. I mean, this was, you always hear authentic New York style pizza or whatever. This was great pizza from Newark, New Jersey, but this isn't about the pizza. This is about leaving there one more time to go check on her sister. So they started letting people into the concert, or into like the building area around 6:30. So we planned to get back there for like 5:45. Amanda did the same thing of hopping out the car, running down the street to go check on her sister, and then I would drive around the block and pick her back up. Except now all of the streets were completely blocked off in that area, and I had to take this huge detour to get around, and it was just confusing. It was a headache, and ended up going back to the hotel. There was no point going anywhere to try to go out to dinner. We're just going to wait till she wanted to get picked up. So the concert was scheduled to end at 10 o'clock. This was a 2-hour-long concert, I guess, for people that were standing out there. I mean, people had to be standing out there for at least 24 hours waiting. There were so many people when we had got there at 7 in the morning. It's just, there's no way those people just started lining up at like 5. Anyways, the concert got over at 10. Her sister said probably like 10:15, 10:30 to go pick her up. I've been to concerts before. I know there's no way that when the show ends, the band just walks off the stage and that's it. There's always some clapping, and they come back out and they sing another song, and you clap and they go back and they come back out and they sing another song, and they continue to do that while the energy is still there. Well, at least that's what a good band does, and this band did plenty of that, because it wasn't until about 11 o'clock the doors of this convention center opened. And the only way I can describe it is like this scene from The Walking Dead. I mean, these doors opened and there were just people just plowing out. They were bumping into cars, you know, too busy looking at their phones, or bumping into the mirror on my truck. They're folding it in. Keep in mind though, all the streets were blocked off, so I had to like kind of circle my way to this spot. This was kind of like kitty corner of where the entrance was, and all these Uber drivers were parked there. It was a no parking zone, so I kind of figured I'd sneak in there. I got completely boxed and we weren't able to get out. All these people were pouring out of this building. She's trying to figure out where her sister is. Eventually we get her, head back to the hotel. We didn't get back there till after midnight. Overall, it was an interesting trip though. That's really cool that that many people have that much devotion for this, for something that honestly about 3-4 weeks ago I really didn't even know existed. I knew her sister was into that. I didn't think it was as big of a thing as it is. And as big of a thing it is, you guys have shown a bunch of support to my channel, all you guys that came in to watch the K-pop videos. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to do another reaction for the K-pop videos. I'm going to try my absolute best. I'm going to have it out for this Sunday. This Sunday I'm going to do the reaction, the third reaction, and I have a bunch of comments that I have to sift through to try to figure out which videos to react to. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. I'm out of breath. I'm exhausted. I still have a bunch of stuff to do. Got to do the laundry, clean the fish tank, all these other things. I'm going to end this episode out now with a bunch of video that I filmed from when we were away, when we were at the hotel room, because that's where the majority of the time was spent, in the hotel room. That's it for today's episode. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.